Top airport secrets exposed. Shocking truths airlines don't want you to know. Hello, sky explorers and earthbound curiosity seekers. Welcome to a new episode of Explore and Discover Curious World, where today we'll be taking off into the clouds to unveil the most hidden secrets of the world of airports and flights. Fasten your seatbelts, because this journey will be bumpier than a flight through a hurricane of revelations. You know, dear friends of thin air, when you think you've seen it all in the world of air travel, along comes an episode like this to make you think again. Today we'll discover why some airports are more dangerous than a crocodile rodeo, why the carpets in airports aren't just there for your comfort. Spoiler, it's all a commercial conspiracy, and why you should never, ever argue with an airport profiler. Ready for takeoff? Great, because the captain has just turned on the fasten your disbelief seatbelt sign. One of the world's most dangerous airports. Thought your most difficult landing was the one after a particularly nasty bout of turbulence? Well, prepare to feel like a seasoned pilot compared to what's coming. Imagine being a pilot approaching Paro International Airport in Bhutan. Not only are you flying between mountains as tall as skyscrapers, but you also have to perform an aerial zigzag that would make parallel parking look like child's play. It's so complicated that until recently, only 8 pilots in the world were authorized to land there. 8. There are more people authorized to use nuclear codes. But wait, it gets better, or worse, depending on your perspective. Tenzing Hillary Airport in Lukla, Nepal, makes Paro look like a beginner's landing strip. With a runway just 530 meters long, basically the length of 5 football fields lined up, landing here is like trying to fit an elephant into a Mini Cooper. To give you an idea, a normal airport runway is about 3,000 meters long. So the next time you complain about your economy seat, remember you could be on a flight to Lukla, where the only class is survival. 2. The airport carpet conspiracy. Have you ever noticed those luxurious carpets in airports and thought, wow, how thoughtful these airport managers are? Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but those carpets are there for a very specific reason, and it's not your comfort. According to very serious research, I imagine conducted by scientists in white coats holding notepads and carpet samples, relaxed passengers are 7 to 10% more likely to shop in duty-free stores. So those soft carpets, those comfortable chairs, and that pleasant natural lighting, they're all tools in an elaborate plan to empty your wallet before you even board the plane. But wait, there's more. There's even a golden hour for airport shopping. The first 60 minutes after check-in are statistically when we spend the most. So, the next time you find yourself buying a perfume bottle the size of a skyscraper or a teddy bear dressed as a pilot, know that you've fallen into the softest and most comfortable trap ever invented. 3. The mystery of confiscated items. Ever wondered what happens to all those items confiscated at security checkpoints? No, they don't end up in a museum of forgotten objects, though, let's admit it, that would be fantastic. In reality, you might find yourself buying your own confiscated water bottle at a special auction. Yes, you heard that right. Unclaimed items are kept for about 60 days, and then, ta-da, they're put up for auction. So the next time you see someone desperately trying to finish a 2-liter water bottle before security, you might suggest they ship it home. Who knows? They might end up rebuying it at auction a few months later, maybe at a markup. It's the circle of life for airport objects. 4. Profilers, the real mentalists of airports, thought security checks were the only obstacle between you and your flight? Surprise! There are experts called profilers watching you even before you approach the metal detector. These modern-day airport Sherlock Holmes are trained to notice every tiny detail of your behavior. Are you licking your lips, scratching your nose, looking around as if you're in a mirror shop? Well, congratulations, you've just caught the attention of a profiler. These agents are so good at reading body language that they could tell you what you had for breakfast just by watching you walk. Their favorite trick? Asking you the seemingly innocent question, what's the purpose of your trip? While you're trying to remember whether it was vacation or business trip that you told your boss, they're analyzing your every micro-expression. So the next time you feel watched at an airport, you're not paranoid. It's just a profiler trying to figure out if you're more suspicious than a penguin in the desert. 5. Parking, the real tourist trap. Thought your airline ticket was the biggest expense of your trip? Wait until you see the airport parking bill. These parking lots are like casinos. You enter thinking you'll spend little, and you leave with a wallet lighter than a Ryanair carry-on. The reason? Well, apparently building and maintaining a huge parking lot near an airport costs more than a private jet. Who would have thought, right? And guess who pays for all this? That's right, you. Next time, consider getting a friend to drop you off. Or better yet, convince a friend to buy a house near the airport. Problem solved. 6. Airplane contrails. Not a conspiracy, just water vapor. You know those white trails that planes leave in the sky? The ones some people believe are proof of a government conspiracy to control us all? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint conspiracy theory fans, but the truth is much less exciting. Those trails are mainly water vapor. Yes, you heard that right. It's as if the plane was taking a giant breath on a cold winter day. The warm, humid air coming out of the engines mixes with the cold, dry air at high altitudes, creating those long lines of vapor. It's basically the same principle that lets you see your breath when it's cold, except in this case, the breath is miles long. The duration of these trails depends on the humidity of the air. If the air is already humid, the trails will be more evident and last longer. If it's very cold, the droplets turn into ice and remain visible for longer. So, the next time you see these trails, instead of thinking about an alien conspiracy, just imagine that the plane is playing who can make the longest breath with the clouds. 7. The mystery of window shades. Ever wondered why the crew insists so much on keeping the window shades up during takeoff and landing? No, it's not to give you a better view of the landscape, although we admit that seeing the airport get smaller and smaller has its charm. The main reason is much more practical. It's about getting your eyes adapted to the outside light. In case of an emergency evacuation, the last thing we need is a group of passengers tripping over each other because their eyes are still used to the darkness of the cabin. It's like when you turn on the light in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. Only in this case, you might have to run on an airplane wing instead of toward the toilet. But there's more. Raised shades also allow the ground crew to see if there's any problem on board. For example, if there's a fire in the cabin, hopefully not, the staff will notice and can intervene. So the next time they ask you to raise the shade, remember it's not to ruin your nap, but to save your life. A small price to pay, don't you think? 8. The yellow hook, the lifesaver you didn't know you had. Have you ever noticed that little double yellow hook on the plane's wing and thought, what the heck is that doing there? No? Well, now you won't be able to unsee it. This little accessory, which looks like it came from a hardware store for giants, is actually an important safety device. In case of an emergency landing, hopefully never, these hooks are used to secure ropes that help passengers get off the wing. Think of it as an emergency handrail for when the wing becomes your improvised escape slide. So the next time you see these hooks, instead of worrying about aerodynamics, mentally thank them. They could be your lifeline if needed. 9. Jet streams, the invisible highway of the sky. Think planes always fly in a straight line? Think again, there are invisible highways in the sky called jet streams. They're extremely fast airflows that move in a strange but more or less constant way. And guess what? Airlines take advantage of it. When a plane approaches a jet stream, it can adapt to the direction of the flow and fly faster, pushed by the current. It's like surfing, but at 10,000 meters high and at 900 kilometers per hour. Airlines use this trick to save fuel and make trips faster. So, the next time you arrive at your destination early, don't thank the pilot. Thank these invisible highways in the sky. 10. Clear air turbulence, the invisible bogeyman. You know when the plane suddenly starts shaking as if it were on a road full of potholes? Welcome to the wonderful world of clear air turbulence. It's like a roller coaster, but without the fun part and with more screams of terror. This turbulence is particularly insidious because it happens without warning. There are no threatening clouds or other visible signs. It happens when two bodies of air collide at high speed, and it's invisible even to radar. It's It's as if Mother Nature suddenly decided to play Shake the Plane without telling anyone. The chances of encountering this type of turbulence are higher at low altitudes, near mountain ranges, and close to jet streams. So the next time you hear the pilot say, "Fasten your seatbelts, we're entering an area of possible turbulence," it's not because he wants you to exercise, but because he's trying to save you from a lively flight experience. 11. Lightning in planes, an electrifying relationship. Ever wondered what happens when lightning strikes a plane? No, it doesn't turn into a flying DeLorean and doesn't take you to the future, unfortunately. In reality, planes are designed to handle these close encounters of the electric kind without too many problems. The lightning usually hits one of the plane's extremities, the wing or the nose, and then exits from the tail, desperately seeking the ground it won't climb. For electricity, it's easier to flow over the surface of the plane than to enter it. It's as if the plane were covered by a giant anti-lightning suit. Sure, lightning is powerful and can cause some external damage, but nothing to worry too much about. After being hit, the plane is inspected, but it can safely complete the flight. And there you have it, fellow air travelers and conspiracy theorists. We've just unraveled some of the most closely guarded secrets of the aviation world. From the heart-stopping landings in Bhutan to the shocking truth about those fluffy airport carpets, we've covered it all. Remember, the next time you're at an airport or on a plane, you're not just a passenger. You're a participant in a grand aerial adventure filled with invisible highways, sneaky shopping traps, and more safety features than you can shake a yellow hook at. So, did this episode make your head spin faster than a jet engine? Did it elevate your knowledge to new heights? We hope so. If you enjoyed this sky-high journey through the world of aviation secrets, why not join our crew of curious explorers? Hit that subscribe button faster than a plane hitting a jet stream, and don't forget to turn on notifications. You wouldn't want to miss our next flight of fancy, would you? And here's a question to keep your mind soaring. If you could design a new safety feature for airplanes, what would it be? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep your heads in the clouds, your curiosity on full thrust, and remember, in the grand scheme of air travel, we're all just passengers on this big blue flying marble